high end, Kardashian style stuff. It's all cool. They're great people. They're sweethearts.
Mhm.
They're nice. I had a crush on them and I went on a date with them. Isn't that cool? That's life imitating art.
Let's go broing down memory lane. So EC3, you go on a date with the Bella twins. What was the memories of that photo shoot, of that video shoot? And what are Nikki and Brie like in real life?
Well, first off, we've all seen Total Divas, and we know Nikki and Brie are just two of the sweetest peas of the pie. They're
totally real. Yeah.
In reality, they're very kind and they're very much like the personas they portray. They're just extension of themselves. They're twins. They're very similar, but then they're very different. So, and Brie being into like holistic things of that nature, it's cool. And, Nikki, high end, Kardashian style stuff. It's all cool. They're great people. They're sweethearts. They're nice. I had a crush on them and I went on a date with them. Isn't that cool? That's life imitating art. And what I recall about that is that was NXT. It was season 4 when we were banished to the internet. It was really at the time where people were realizing that we're doing something and we're having fun and we're all getting over by having, no restraints because nobody gives it. No one cared. No one cared about writing us. So they didn't care at all. That we're out there just, well, all right, fine. We'll just have a good time. And that segment was the 4 of us collaborating on what we would think a wild, hilarious double date would be. And a few choice memories of mine. One hidden gem of a line I had, I said, hi, Brie, you're named after my second favorite cheese. The first one's being goat, which talk about irony. Didn't Daniel Bryan have some sort of goat thing going later on? All the shot. I'm a soothsayer. I am a genius. The American flag pants.
Clairvoyance, ladies and gentlemen.
I had the American flag pants with the tucked in shirt with my legitimate suit over it. My curly hair, like just obviously not in a restaurant, just like obviously in a backstage half-ass built like set where there's 3 people sitting around. What else can I recall? The fanny pack I wore. Fanny pack I wore. I didn't own a fanny pack. I've never owned a fanny pack. I had to borrow Michael Hayes' fanny pack. And then I remember in college, I was picking up a girl from a bar, and I'm like, she's hot and like handsome and kind of wild, and I'm working it. I'm like, can I buy you a drink? And she's like, yeah, sure, why not? And I pulled out a bag of change, boom, like I did in the date. When I paid in change, we still got it on, like, because it was hilarious. But then I brought that back to NXT season 4, flipped the table, my pants, like nothing could phase this idiotic Derrick Bateman unless he's stained his American flag pants. Like it was absurdity at its finest, all 4 contributing their ideas. Like it was just talented people collaborating, working together, knowing who they are, and entertaining people. It's a novel concept in professional wrestling. It was just 3.5 minutes of improv too, and feeling it and trying to make each other laugh, but like trying to keep straight faces. It was fun. And actually, that's back when I had fun.
Who produced that, bro? Anybody we know?
No. It
Okay.
wasn't Brian. I don't think so. It was shoot. Maybe Nick was his name, I think. I don't think he's been there. Or Alfonso. Well, yeah. So no, nobody we know off the top of our head.
Okay, just curious.
Bloodsworth, I think, produced it too. Jennifer Bloodsworth was part of that.
What was the I guess what was the point of having that type of NXT program? I know that they brought some people, from different areas of pro wrestling. Like, who was doing the scouting and recruiting at that time, and why did they bring you in to be a part of this NXT project? What was the point of that?
Laurinaitis and Canyon Seaman. So Laurinaitis was the head of talent relations. I think because it was ECW and then they switched it to NXT, they had this brand new novel concept that they put all their bells and whistles they could on season 1. And, it was a broken concept for sure. And like, why are these guys chasing a dog around a cage and falling over freaking guardrails, holding it's just idiocy. But they had a big payoff because at the end, the Nexus was born, and that was just luck and happenstance that they fell into kind of a great angle.
And that wasn't planned.
No, I don't think so. Not till the end where they just needed something big to happen, and usually the best things kind of come out of nowhere. Season 2 came about, and then because they were so personality driven, they kind of had they had like low key Caval, like great worker. You had Joe Henning, who's Michael. They name him Michael McGillicuddy. Great worker, but like promos weren't, great. They had Eli Cottonwood. Why? He was 7 feet tall. The dude is wrestling 6 months. He doesn't know what's going on. They had Alex Riley, who was like a stud and could have been brought in the right way and be a top guy, but they threw him on that. At his house now, your boy Percy Watson was on that. Like, just because he had a bunch of charisma, but he wasn't ready for like wrestling in a ring. He didn't know wrestling yet. He's only been doing it for a year. So they really wanted personalities. But then season 2 kind of led to the cancellation of it, which led to they have to continue doing the same thing no matter what, even if it's not working. So then season 3 comes about. They had 4 weeks of the females.
Yep.
And it would transcend it to the internet. And instead of like, maybe, all right, that concept didn't work. Maybe we can find something else. They just kept doing it. So then season 4 came about strictly on the internet and just nobody cared. It was just, it's so bizarre to me that the finest tuned professional wrestling company on the planet who's been doing it the most and sold out arenas and it's worth billions of dollars doesn't know what to do with an hour of television to introduce new people. So they brought the concepts back with these stupid game show challenges, but we already knew we're dead in the water if we take this seriously, which is a complaint I got. Like, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to act serious. I'm like, give me something to be serious about. What is this? So they started getting mad because Tyrus, aka Brodus Clay, was on the show. He was a big heater and he got good heat and he looked the part. And then Johnny Curtis, myself, who else was on it? Byron Saxton, Jacob Novak. Who's Jacob Novak exactly? And then Connor from the Ascension were on it. And just by personality alone, it was going to come down to Curtis, myself, and Brodus, which it did. But they literally started getting mad when they saw us having fun. And they literally started trying to throw curveballs our way or the challenges. Like when I did the challenge with Daniel Bryan, Know Your Pro, and we rigged it to win, like they got mad they couldn't embarrass us because we embarrassed them. And it's like, it's not a competition. We're just entertaining people. It's on a throwaway nonsense show. That was kind of the time too where they started hearing crowds starting to react to the show. And they're like, they're in their SmackDown meeting, changing everything at the last second. Why are these people cheering? What are they? Are they having fun out there? What is this? What's going on?
They don't want them to cheer?
No, they just think like they were shocked. Things were getting over. Daniel was getting over, and George Brodus was getting like real heat, and like Johnny Curtis, a fantastic worker, was having great matches, and we all were having good matches within it, and we were taking these stupid challenges and just having fun with them and making them our own. And they literally they literally robbed me from the things of the votes. So yeah, the great Sacramento screw job. We can talk about that one day.
Oh, Sacramento screw job. So they would
easily in first place on the fan vote, but because I didn't play ball,
I rigged it.
Eliminated from a fake game show.
Wow.
It was fake.
Very interesting. We'll get more into detail organically as we continue, in coming weeks. But I don't understand that. I don't understand why they were like, okay, let's rig it because this is the reason why. This is what we want from all this, and the fans are saying this, but I want with this, or we want this, and so we're going to force the fans to believe this or want this. And I also want to, whoever wants to chime in this is what I was also thinking. What is up with WWE brass force feeding someone a concept, even if they know that it's sinking?
The fans rejected
Why
it.
do that?
Because they just can't think outside their narrow vision, I guess. Like the first episode of NXT season 1 was like a blowaway rating success, if I recall. And then people were excited to see new things, and you had Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho working, and like that's super cool. And second episode, there's going to be a little dip, but then they started like really leaning into these challenges where they're just trying to embarrass people that are being paid money to make them money. Like, why put people in that position and embarrass them? Vince can cover it well. When they're there to be created, to be stars, to make you more money. That's why nobody got over, nobody gets over. It's baffling.
Chris, you know what's interesting? It's really funny because, bro, from day one, I'm talking, go back to Vince has been doing this, I think, for 40 years or something. Bro, Vince's mentality was always, bro, I am going to cook this, I am going to serve it to you, and you are going to eat it whether you like it or not. I mean, that's always been his mentality. Now, Chris, here's the funny thing about this. Over the years, look what's happening. Less and less people are eating it, bro. So that mentality might have worked in 1980. In 2023, bro, they ain't eating it. Yeah. They don't like it. They ain't watching. And that's what the numbers are telling you. But the problem is, bro, that mindset has not changed.
Yeah.
You know, we as talent too, on the come up, we just want an opportunity to shine and to be a part of the team in a sense, and to work hard and do the best versions of ourselves possible. Yeah. And we would literally feel bad before SmackDown and the stars went out there that they were doing this beat to dead concept that the fans were just like, oh, like imagine being excited. You get SmackDown tickets for your birthday. I'm going to go with my dad. You get in the car, you pack it up, you're eating, you're spending hundreds of dollars. You sit there for 45 minutes and you're just bored or angry. You're like, this sucks. And then, okay, well, Randy Orton's coming out at 8:01. Great. But like, I'm already lost interest in this because I just watched 45 minutes of nonsense.
Yeah. Fantastic point there.